Welcome, Virgo, to your monthly horoscope for June for the Sun or the Ascendant. If you've yet to subscribe to my channel, I'd be honoured if you did so now. Please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. If you'd like to communicate with me directly, you can do so at Twitter at Horoscope Ace, or subscribe to your free monthly astrology magazine or daily horoscope by clicking the link beneath this video. If you'd like to have a one-to-one with me, please also see the testimonials beneath this video too. We continue to be living in very, very tricky times. As usual, I'll try to measure every word with care and also take into account the different scenarios that there are for wherever you're located in the world. But this month begins with a glorious alliance for you between the Sun and Venus. They're right at the top of your horoscope, and this gives you an opportunity to raise your vibration when it comes to reaching out anyone who's remotely influential or, inverted commas, important. We're all important, but if we're applying for a job, dealing with our employer or employees, or needing to talk to someone that we have great respect for, then sometimes we have to follow the conventions. And your ability to cultivate people in positions of influence is really blessed at the start of this month. You can also impress them with your vision, which can be absolutely illuminated by your ruling planet's link, which is Mercury, to Uranus, the planet of innovation. And some kind of far-reaching idea or strand of thinking that you have could indeed impress someone in a position of authority. It is true, however, that we do have 3 retrogrades as this month begins. Venus is one of them. We also have a retrograde to Jupiter and also Pluto. Jupiter and Pluto are broadly together all month. Now, of course, they're very influential planets. Jupiter is about crossing boundaries, it's about countries, it's about international affairs, but it's also about growth and good fortune. And being alongside Pluto for you, which is about change, suggests that creativity that you may have been manifesting with the lockdown can see you coming up with some brilliant ideas, but it may seem as if you're having to retrace your steps. Not everything may be going to plan. It's also possible that this could be around a romantic situation, that there's a lot of thinking going on, or perhaps there could, in some situations, be some deconstruction. So if something isn't working, this is a month which is going to give you food for thought. And the reason for that, Virgo, is that Neptune, the planet of dreams, but also the planet of illusion, continues in your opposite sign of relationships, but is in a conjunction with Mars. Now, ordinarily, Mars in the 7th house gives us great drive, makes us more assertive. We can mark out what we want when we come into contact with others. But Neptune can dimulate Mars's desire. And because both of them are squaring up to the Sun through to the 18th of this month, and that takes in the lunar eclipse of the 5th, I do think it's important for you to try to have a very clear understanding of where you'd like things to evolve to. Now that lunar eclipse of the 5th is in your sector of emotion and home. So if something is shifting, it can have profound implications for your worldly interactions as well as your closest relationships. So what Mars and Neptune together can do is cloud issues. They take the drive away from Mars, and in the sign of Pisces it can create a lot of steam. It can create mystique if you're getting to know somebody new, but just as easily you may encounter a situation or a person where you don't seem to know exactly where you stand, and it could be that influential person, it could be an employer. So taking in the wider COVID situation and the fact that your ruler goes into a retrograde on the 18th, and of course is in shadow before then, and Venus is in retrograde through to the 25th of this month, I think it's only right that you should have some realistic expectations about how things are evolving. I think for some parts of the world there could be some kind of lifting of the lockdown, and that can obviously be very welcome. But still there is this potential for sluggishness, for not necessarily getting clear messages from the people that you're linking to. However, you have a great opportunity on the 20th when the sun moves into the most far-sighted part of your scope to start thinking long-term again. There's also a solar eclipse on the 21st on the world point. So a critical solar eclipse this. It's also in direct opposition to where the solar eclipse was of last December. So something that came up for you then can reach a kind of powerful juncture, and it could be to do with understanding that some of the things you want from your future may require you to change some of the fundamentals at the base of your being. Now, you're a maestro when it comes to life organisation, but to get what you want in terms of meeting your highest hopes, you may have to compromise a little bit in the second half of this year. But Mars does move on the 28th of this month into the sign of Aries, which it governs, and it's going to be there for the next 6 months. For you, this is going to give you an enormous amount of drive to try to repair your, if you like, personal balance sheet if it has taken a big hit from the impact of the crisis. And your drive and determination to do this right through to the 6th of January next year is going to know very few bounds. It's just all of this turbulence that we're experiencing. It just requires us to stay nimble, to keep flexing, to keep listening to what other people may have to offer. But I think as a mutable sign, you're well equipped to keep just a little bit of space, but keep checking the detail of what you're offered, and then that can help you to cut through the froth and see what's really meaningful. And once you know that, I think as this month draws to a close, you can start to network, link out with others, hopefully meet up if you're really fortunate where you are, and that's going to drive your aspirations, your hopes, and your successes in the second half of this year. Now, if you'd like to check out those testimonials to have a one-to-one with me or embrace serious astrology through your written reports, if you see the links below, you will also see, if you do have the written reports, you can access a 30% discount. But for now, I'd like to say, please stay safe. Thank you for joining me. Good luck and goodbye.